Thanks to those of you who have checked out my Patreon, I am able to make a new series of Pokemon Epics, and a big shout out, of course, to the Nerd Therapist. Hey, Pokemon Masters, Birdkeeper Toby here, and I am dyslexic. I'm also dyspraxic, which means I'm clumsy. The dyslexia means that I find words quite difficult, which is obviously tough when you tweet a million times a day. I'm sure any of you who follow me on Twitter have seen the many hilarious errors that I've put in my tweets. I'm also left-handed. My writing never progressed past that of when I was 5. So you can imagine my shock when I'm at conventions and lovely people like you come up to me and ask me to sign Pokemon cards. I can't help but feel like I'm devaluing them, especially when people give me GXs, or, I mean, I've even signed a Rainbow Rare before. This Starmie GX is gonna go to one of you on Patreon, thank you very much. And I just can't help but feel like I've ruined this Starmie. But to some people, me putting my signature there apparently is like that's more valuable to them. Some people even think I'm a big enough YouTuber that they're gonna get me to sign something and then sell it on eBay. Good luck with that, it's worth nothing when I sign it. But you know, whenever one of you comes up to me, I am personally very, very flattered, and I hope you specifically enjoy the card and have a value in the sentiment around it. The story that was there. There was a Charizard card recently that sold for over $10,000 on eBay. It's the new Shining version of Shiny Charizard from Hidden Fates. It's a GX card. It's rare. I mean, it's pretty rare. A group called Darium's Pokemon opened up 1,000 packs of Hidden Fates and found 100 of these Shining GX cards, and only 3 of them were Charizard. So that's 3 cards in 1,000 packs. Each pack has 10 cards. That's a low pull rate. That Charizard is rare. Is it worth $10,000? No, on average it sells for like $500 at most, and yet someone was willing to pay. Somebody wanted that Charizard card. Maybe it was the first PSA graded one, I don't know. Grading is where they professionally check the quality of the card. Heck, I've opened packs of Shining Legends and I've been lucky enough to get some really cool cards, and in fact, I pulled a Charizard card that is even rarer than that one. Many of you saw my reaction live, you saw the live stream on Instagram, and you watched me open it up and my disbelief at what I was looking at. These are not those cards, these are my 2 Shining GXs that I pulled at the same time. There are 34 different Shining GXs in the set, Charizard being one of them, and your chance of getting Charizard is as much as getting Lycanroc or Buzzwole. If people preferred Lycanroc to Charizard, this could be worth $400 or could have sold for $10,000 on eBay. If people prefer Buzzwole, but Charizard's Charizard, and Charizard is special. And I did get a Charizard that is even rarer than that one. It's in this box, but before I show it to you, and I will, let's just talk for a second about why Charizard? Why is Charizard so much more expensive in the card game? I mean, yes, there are Charizard fanboys. I like Charizard. Who doesn't like Charizard? It's a big fire-flying dragon. I think when people think of the Pokemon card game and they think of expensive old cards, the one that comes to mind is base set Charizard. And yeah, if you have one of these, it's shadowless, which is like a sort of misprint, I guess. Or it's a special kind of edition of the card, and it's first edition. This card can go up into the thousands. If it's at the top quality, it's not been touched by basically sunlight, then yeah, this card can go for a lot of money. But why? Why this card? There are other cards in base set that are just as rare. Alakazam, Chansey, there are other Pokemon. Venusaur and Blastoise, they're starters too. Why Charizard? Well, I think it probably goes back to the TV show. After all, Ash traveled around the Kanto region with Pikachu, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Charizard. These Pokemon were all very prevalent on his team in the first generation of the show. Squirtle and Bulbasaur and Pikachu, you could get those in base set, but they were all common, they were easy to find. Charizard was the rarest. Not only that, but Ash didn't use Alakazam, he didn't use Chansey, he didn't use any of the other Pokemon that were in base set that were rare, just Charizard. Here we have a situation where Charizard is a popular character, this is the first print of the card, and would you look at that, it's one of the rarest cards in the set, it's actually good competitively, it has some big attacks. So Charizard, the first Charizard, it's kind of the first rarest card. And from that springs all sorts of collectors who want to get every card in base set, who want to get every starter Pokemon around Charizard, or people who want to get every Charizard card, and anyone that's a little bit special, whether it's a Crystal Charizard or a Shining Charizard or the latest GX Shining Charizard that sold for $10,000, sometimes those collectors are willing to pay. So what about my Charizard? Yes, okay, right, I will show it to you. See, I got this special Charizard tin, and with it, there comes a guaranteed pull, a guaranteed Charizard GX. It's kind of from the same set, but it's not, well, the chances aren't 1 in 10 packs might have it, and then it's a 1 in 34 chance. It's a guarantee that you'll get it in the tin, but my Charizard is special. Here you go, look at that bad... Oh. Oh no! Look, my Charizard, it's faulty. The side here is too thick and this side's too thin. This is a faulty product. I should send it back, I should get angry. Look at that, you can see what I assume is the edge of the cutting sheet right there. That bit of white, that bit of silver. How dare they send me, Berkey Batobi, a faulty product? Magic Madhouse, I'm looking at you. Except, hold up. If there's one of these Charizards in every tin and my one is different, then my Charizard is one of a kind. My Charizard is a rarer Charizard GX than the Charizard GX in the packs of this very set. This is rarer than the shiny one. I'll put it on eBay and I'll sell it for $10,000. Then I can fund my new Pokemon Epic series and finally refund the Nerd Therapist. Nerd Therapist. Who said that? Seriously, that guy's been my biggest Patreon for like a year. If I can repay him, I probably should. Here's the thing, when Darium's Pokemon did their 1,000 pack opening and got their 10,000 cards, as far as they could see, they showed 2 cards that looked a little bit faulty, that looked like they had been pulled out of the printer wrong. 2 in 10,000. It's much less likely that you'll get a product like this that looks a little bit faulty to one that is like out as it's meant to be. That Starmie that I signed earlier, it's slightly off center. I don't know if you can see. The border on this side is thinner than the border on this side. It's just slightly what we would call off center. But not enough where we would consider it unique, not like my Charizard here. When it comes to any trading card games, there are normal deviations. There is a kind of a perfect, an ideal that a machine will print, but sometimes the machine is slightly to the left, or slightly to the right, slightly up, slightly down. These things happen. A card like that Starmie is perfectly normal, perfectly ordinary. But my Charizard, with its ridiculous border edge, that is special. So much so that when I posted about it on Facebook and in Charizard collector groups, people came at me with offers. £50 was the first offer, then that was doubled again. We went all the way up to, I got an offer of $300. The regular version of the card is only worth about $10, and my faulty one is apparently, to some people, worth at least $300. I haven't taken it yet because I wanted to make this video because in researching this and spending all of my time yesterday going through and researching everything there is to do with miscuts, the question just kept bothering me. Why is this thing that is technically a broken product worth more to people? What is it that makes it so special? I mean, after all, if you were a collector of games, would you buy a game that didn't work? I've been filling up my own games collections recently. I have Pokemon Diamond, I bought Pokemon Pearl to match it. I had to get the European box to match Diamonds. I don't know why, that just felt like the right thing to do for my collection. Diamonds and Pearls are worth money, but they're just rocks, really, just precious stones. I mean, a diamond is literally just carbon molecules arranged in a particular way, I think. As you can probably tell by this video, by the way, my English, maths, and science probably not all that great. That's why I have to make Pokemon videos on YouTube. But a diamond that has a story behind it, that has been recovered from the tomb of an ancient king by a unique tomb raider who lost their lives trying to get the diamond out. That story will increase the value of the diamond in much the same way that Ash's story has increased the value of Charizard. It's very much like how I needed to get a European copy of Pokemon Pearl, because you see, I got Diamond and Pearl when I was on holiday in Cyprus when I was a kid, and I sold my copy of Pearl to a friend at college, and then he couldn't find his copy, so I needed to buy a European version to match the European version of Diamond I already had, even though it cost me £2 more, because otherwise it just wouldn't have been right. It's in the same way that I collect cool Snorlax cards because of Team Snooze, or the reason that any of you who might be a Charizard fan like myself might want to go out of your way to buy every Charizard card or just the special ones. The people who collect miscuts, again, it's because there's a cool story behind the Pokemon. Maybe you got a Shining Charizard in Neo Revelations when you were younger and you want that same feeling of nostalgia again. Maybe you found a miscut when you were younger and it fascinated you so that now you just collect miscuts. There is someone called Reggie Gigagod who I found on Instagram while researching this whole thing. Here, there is a card that is half Staryu, half Metapod. I'll call it a Staryu miscut because Staryu, the name is there, as is the Pokemon, but really it's 50-50. Or how about this miscut that I found on eBay of 3 Pokemon cards on the cutting sheet that all look different. There is a cool story there about the mismatched origins of these cards, and they are one of a kind. My Charizard, with its mismatched proportions, is one of a kind. It is rarer than any other Charizard GX in the Hidden Fates set. That is just a fact. I have a really positive story with it, the story that I got to open it up in front of so many of you on Instagram in the live stream. I hope that many of you that receive my signed Pokemon cards on Patreon or in person have positive memories and stories around those cards. As for how much those memories give value to this Charizard or its independence, or maybe this video maybe increases the value of it because of the story connected to it, that is really up to you. The new eBay listing is in the description, of course, and it is set to start at 99 pence. Despite my offers of 250 and 300, I figured this would be more fun. And yeah, I'll keep it safe, and if I hit $10,000, I'll refund the Nerd Therapist and fund my new Pokemon Epic series, of course. Let me know what you think about the soon-to-be Not My Charizard in the comments, and why don't you tell me a story of something you collected, something special that is unique to you that you picked up in the comments. Check out the eBay listing, it's linked below. You might win it for 99p a pound, and of course, soar high, Pokemon Masters.
This is Ash Ketchum. You just watched a video by Birdkeeper Toby. That makes you a Pokemon Master!